This is Building a More Renewable Future by Carter Welch. I don't know why it's not working. We continue to use fossil fuels regularly. Almost all life forms on Earth will be gone within the 21st century. This is due to climate change, and one of the biggest factors leading to it is, quote, the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, said Julia Rosen, who's a journalist with a PhD in geology. Fossil fuels, which emit greenhouse gases when burned, have been an integral part of our economy since the start of the Industrial Revolution, and this is mainly due to their ease to obtain and their cheapness, but their disadvantages outweigh the advantages greatly. First of all, Walter Deal, who's an associate professor at Old Dominion University and has a PhD, stated that fossil fuels will struggle in the future due to the fact that there's going to be greater energy demand and they're a finite resource. Furthermore, Albert Huebner, who has 30 years of experience in writing academic papers, stated that global air pollution causes nearly 700,000 deaths annually. And he later goes on to state that this number could be lowered by 64,000 just by implementing renewable energy into 4 specific cities. With that said, many think that it will be much worse to suddenly switch our main sources of energy and get rid of fossil fuels altogether. For example, Jeff Turrentine, the culture and politics columnist at One Earth, stated that whenever coal businesses shut down, jobs are lost and lives are ruined. Elena Kuzmenko stated in a recent peer-reviewed journal that, quote, oil will continue to play a dominant role in the Russian economy, and this pretty much shows that the issues listed by Jeff Turrentine could happen at a huge role and happen to entire economies of entire nations, which would ruin the global economy. It's now obvious that the thing our society needs most is renewable energy, more specifically, wind and solar energy. This is due to many respective reasons, but first of all, according to Frederica Gucciella, who in a recent peer-reviewed journal stated that the growth of solar energy has been great in the past few years, this quote shows the fact that solar energy has the most potential out of all forms of renewable energy. Other benefits of solar energy include ease to implement and immediate value after implementation. Wind energy has similar benefits, but is also optimal in its own ways. To elaborate, Chang Dar-Yu and his colleagues stated in a recent peer-reviewed article that, quote, the amount of electricity expected to be produced each year from offshore wind energy farms and photovoltaic energy combined could be enough by 2025 to completely replace nuclear energy. This is a real-world example of what could happen if we put wind energy in its best potential location, which in this situation is offshore. For these reasons, wind and solar energy are two of the things that our society needs the most to escape the grasp of climate change and fossil fuels. Since I interpreted the stimulus material to be focused around resilience, I thought that it made sense to look at our future, and more specifically, what our future will look like as we're continuing to grow with global warming. This is why, in addition to renewable energy, we need to start changing architectural aspects of our society. And this is because, quote, we have the technology that we know to prevent climate change. In this quote, Julia Watson, who is an architect from Harvard, is referring to many different strategies used by ancient civilizations to help them coincide with nature rather than build fortresses against it. Furthermore, similar arguments have been expressed by scholars like Joseph Allen, who's a director of the Healthy Buildings program at Harvard University. He stated that getting off of fossil fuels is central to our climate goals, but we won't be able to do it without fundamentally changing our buildings. Now, both of these arguments go to show that the answer to climate change is living more naturally. To conclude, climate change as a result of fossil fuels is quickly putting the lives of the human race as well as the creatures that live around us in danger. This is because the global temperature is expected to rise, quote, in between 2 and 3 degrees Celsius, which will challenge all systems in our current society that we rely on today, including energy, transportation, agriculture, housing, industry, and infrastructure, said Davis Wells. This shows that we must prepare to adapt to climate change in the near future in order to continue surviving on our planet. With that said, we have the tools we need to do so, which includes solar energy, like wind and, renewable energy like solar and wind, as well as architectural improvements that bring us closer to nature. This issue is perfectly summed up in the poem titled Warned, which was written by Sylvia Stokes, where she stated that one can't blame pollution alone. As they say, you reap what you've sown, so let us plant a better seed, tear our roots, cultivate weed. The main idea of this poem expresses the fact that we can't keep blaming global warming on other things. We have to take responsibility, and the only way we'll be able to stop it is by planting a better, more renewable seed. Thank you.